Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome to the channel. Listen, I want to talk about Love is Blind. Okay, I do believe that is season 4. I want to talk about Love is Blind. Please forgive me if I mess up names, girl. But I binged watched Love is Blind yesterday and I did not take any notes, okay? But I definitely was moved to feel away in different parts of the show. And I'm going to try to talk about those things, okay? I'm probably not going to go through a whole guideline and all this other, you know what I'm saying? How I usually do, girl. This is just free talk, all right? So, first of all, I want us to meet some of the couples. For a lot of you guys that's not familiar with Love is Blind, what happens is they take also many number of male singles and then also many number of female singles and they bring them to this warehouse or whatever that they like to call the pods. These people never see each other. They literally sit in two separate rooms talking to each other through a wall, okay? Getting to know each other for hours and hours and hours out of the day, okay? The goal is for them to find their perfect match. And once everything is up, I guess within those 2 weeks or that week or whatever the case is, they are to propose to the person that they can see themselves spending the rest of their lives with, although they didn't really get a chance to see the person, okay? They're not allowed to see the person, but you can kind of describe yourself and say things and tell a person about yourself, where you're from, get to know this person as much as possible, but you're unable to see each other, right? So once you go through this process, you're supposed to choose who you would like to marry. You go and you propose. The guys are to propose to the women. The women can accept or deny the proposals. All right. And from that moment, they get an actual ring and then they're whisked off into, Bliss or whatever. They go on pre honeymoon, I guess you can say. They go on like a little vacation where they spend time getting to know each other. They're also going to meet other singles. And some of those singles may be people that they either turned down or got turned down by, okay? And they're going to be on this resort for maybe like a week or something, right? It's going to be a lot of interactions, a lot of ins and outs and stuff. So it looks like they only gave us the first 5 episodes, and the rest of the episodes drop this Friday. Girl, listen, I'm liking this season. Last season was it was alright, it was okay. I wasn't really crazy about it, but I'm loving this season because I enjoy seeing black people on the screen. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all and just keep it a buck. I enjoy seeing black people on the screen. Okay, now if it ain't a lot of black people, I might watch. I might see what it's giving, like if it's, you know what I'm saying. But girl, I likes to see us on the screen. Okay, especially in settings like this. So I am enjoying it. All right, it definitely helps my entertainment. So I mean, or helps me be entertained. Right. So let's go ahead and get into some of the couples that made it out of the pods. And when we talk about these couples that made it out of the pods, we're going to talk about some of the frictions and the other individuals that could have been involved in their situation as well. Okay, and this is just the overall synopsis review of episodes 1 through 5 from what all I can recall. Okay, so if I missed anything, leave it down in the comments and maybe we'll pick that up when I do the next part of reviews. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so this first couple here, girl, see, I told y'all already I'm over here forgetting names already. Give me 1 second because I really want to make sure that I have their names, okay? Because these two here, this is Brett and what's her name? I'm so mad that I don't have it right in front of me. Oh, where is it? I should have went to like a couples, Love is Blind couples. That's what I'm gonna do. Haha. This should help me with my season 4 Love is Blind couples. All right. All right. So this first couple here, this is Brett and this is Tiffany. Okay. Brett is 35 years old and he kind of told his story to Tiffany, and I really liked his story. He talked about like how it was for him growing up and how, everything was going well at one point. Then all of a sudden, his different utilities started to turn off. Okay, they used to be like the life of the party, the main ones on the block. Everybody would come to their house and hang out and everything. But then, he said that he could remember them going like 2 weeks without power in their home. And some of their homeboys would want to come over and hang out at the house, and it was like, no, we can't let you in, because he was saying they would have to literally light their whole house with candles. So because of that, he was ashamed, and it was like a pivotal moment in his life as a teenager, because it ended up making him, it made him go inward, right? So he was more so turning into an introvert based on his circumstances, right? So he really didn't have any friends in high school, and I really felt so bad for him, because it just makes me think about a lot of children that don't have similar situations as far as what he's gone through, but just feel alone in general and end up becoming introverts and don't have a lot of friends in high school. So I just really felt bad for him a bit, but I loved how he told his story, because he ended up coming out and he was saying how he used to like to draw or design or whatever. So he would start posting his different things on social media. And from him posting those things on social media, it landed him different opportunities. And I think that he might be working for Nike or something like that. He knows how to design shoes and all of that. Very smart, very intelligent young man. Doesn't even have a college degree. And he's holding some of these high positions in these corporations, girl. But a lot of these states like to goop you and make you feel like you gotta have a college degree. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say, girl. But I feel like that's not always true, girl. If they want you, they'll take you. Now, if you're trying to be a doctor or an attorney, girl, that's different, okay? All right? Those things are different. But designer, some things you could get away with without having a college degree, okay? So there's that. And then this is Tiffany, Tiffany Pennywell. I do not really remember Tiffany's backstory. His story was the one that I was more drawn to, right? And just listening to them talk and converse, I was like, okay, for me, I don't know about y'all, but I was getting Lauren and Cameron vibes just a little bit. I was like, oh my God, they are so cute. He is too handsome. I can definitely see them being a couple. I can see them doing their thing outside of the pods. I think they're going to be so pleased with each other once they see what each other looks like. And I loved it. She poured her heart out to him. I believe she told him she loved him. He was doing the same, girl. While he was doing the same, she fell asleep on him. I said, I know this girl did not just go to sleep on this man. Okay. But she did. All right. And shout out to Chelsea, because I feel like Chelsea is the coolest white girl on the show. And I really like me some Chelsea. Chelsea came in there singing some Usher. I really want to get your attention. Hey, I was like, come on, Chelsea. She came in there singing Usher. And it was so funny because Tiffany just popped up out her sleep and she just started singing Usher with her. And she was like, so is Brett still here? They was like, girl, no, he's gone. She was like, oh my God. So she was so worried that she lost the opportunity to be with him again, and that, she ruined some things, but she didn't. She didn't ruin anything. He actually told her, it really bothered him, number one. It did bother him. He did feel away because he was trying to pour his heart out to her, and she went to sleep on him. And she was like, your voice is just so soothing and calming, and da-da-da-da-da. She fell asleep. But all in all, it didn't matter. He ended up proposing to her anyway. She accepted. They met each other. It was a beautiful moment. He seems like he's such a cute, just such a sweetheart. I don't know what his vices or his problems are, girl. I don't know. We'll see it on the second half if there are any. But I am enjoying the vibe between the both of them, and I hope that they both have truly found their match in each other, and I hope that it really does go a long way. Because I don't want to see a situation like the last two, Jared and I forgot her name, Ayana, Jared and Ayana. Now, I feel like although they got a divorce a year later, it was kind of, I'm not going to say expected, because I was super hopeful for them, but she was his second option. He did want somebody else before he chose her. They really did try to make it work, and it just did not work, okay? I think they were together maybe a year, 2 years, and then they divorced. But in these two people's case, I'm hoping that they thrive, they survive. They were each other's first choice right out the gate. And actually, there's another guy that I'm about to show you guys shortly. He was the one that kind of went to Britt and told him, like, yeah, she's solid. You might want to go ahead and see what Miss Girl is about. So yes, I am loving me some them. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see who else we got. All right, let's see. Let's move on. So that's their couple, and we'll see what else is going on. Now, next up we have, this is Marshall. Marshall is the one that told Brett about Tiffany and how he should go with her. Okay, so this is Marshall and this is Jackie, and I like both of them. I really don't remember a whole lot about their background, but I remember him kind of saying how his dad would kind of ridicule him, and he was really a tough dad when it came down to teaching him when he was younger. Like, his worst subject was math. His dad would really make him feel like a dummy when it came to math. So one of his fears is that he hopes he does not raise his children in the same way that his dad raised him. Right. And when it comes to Jackie just wants to kind of like let her kids kind of be free a bit. So I think they'll be fine when it comes to the parenting department. Now, she did have another option. And baby, that option was Josh. And let me tell y'all something. Josh was fine. I'm not gonna lie. I felt so conflicted. I was like, bro, I don't know who you should choose. I really don't. We got to see more scenes with Marshall. I did like Marshall, the more it went on, because I saw more scenes of Marshall. I feel like I didn't see enough scenes with her and Josh interacting to know whether I really liked them or not. So I felt like the producers were guiding us a certain way for us to be more into another group over, another person over the other. But when it came to Marshall, I just liked how Marshall was really clear on what it is that he wanted. It wasn't no hesitation or anything. The only problem I had with Marshall was when it came down to it and he poured his heart out and how he was sold on only her. She was like, I'm sold on you too. But at the same time, because at first, they made a decision that they were going to be together. She was supposed to cut off her other options, and the other option was Josh. She was supposed to cut him off. Well, she came back to Marshall and was like, listen, I'm struggling. I'm having a hard time like turning him down because he said that he doesn't have any other options. If it's not me, it's nobody. And he's going to pack his shit up and he's going to get ready to head the hell out. Right. And, Marshall was pissed. Like, he really told you that, and you really gonna let him run game on you like that? Okay, well, if he got a package, that's fine. I'll help him. If he need that type of help, brother can get on. And that's where I kind of was like, Marshall, okay, you're a little too territorial. Now, calm down, okay? How dare you? This man's supposed to fight for who he want to be with too, not just you. So he came back to the room like he ready to really throw them bowls or something like that. So he pretty much confronted Josh, and Josh looked like he was giving him a bit of hesitancy. But I guess Josh was really like, I don't want no problems. So it makes me think about Marshall. Like, Marshall, how are you when you really get upset? Like, when you really get mad, like, are you a loose cannon? Like, how are you when it comes to that? But Josh was just like, yo, bro, like, I did say that, you know what I'm saying? But, basically, he ain't want no problems. But I was just kind of looking at Marshall like the audacity. Like, he's supposed to try and fight for who it is that he wants just because you want her. Like, at the end of the day, it's her decision to make that she also wants you. And you have to give her that space to prove to you that she's going to choose you. Yeah, she's in a conflicting, space right now, but give her some time. All right. So we got to keep our good eye on you, Marshall. All right. Let me see what it is that they do. Did they share that? I'm not seeing it over here in this article. So I cannot recall how old either of them are or what they do for a living. But this is Josh. This is Marshall, and this is Jackie, okay? So that's another couple that I am rooting for and that I like when it comes to Jackie and Marshall. Now, I must say, when they went, so let me put them back on the screen, because it's obvious that those two chose each other. She ended up letting Josh down, so she decided to move forward with Marshall because she said Marshall is something that she needs, okay? She's used to the type of guys like Josh. She's dated that before, but honestly, Marshall is what it is that she needs. So when they get out there on the vacation, first of all, this is what I love about them. When they first met each other and the proposal happened and it was accepted, she really got his goofiness. Like, it was giving like they probably already had their inside jokes, like with the way he was over there walking and moving and acting silly and stuff. Like, they are a vibe together, for real, in my opinion. But when they got to the vacation, she was crying all over the place. And I was like, girl, are you okay? Why are you crying? Are you regretting your decision? Are you, in depression right now? Are you depressed? You're just crying all over the place. Like, what's going on with you? But I ended up reading something on social media that she put out recently. And what I learned is that she is the person that her family depends on the most. Her dad had cancer, right? So when he was like bedridden, couldn't work or still can't, whatever the situation is, she is the person that has to take care of her family. She goes home every weekend, takes care of her dad and stuff. She pays their bills. Like, a lot of weight falls on Jackie when it comes to her family. She mentioned her brother was going to be getting out of prison soon. And with that, she was going to have to take care of him. So she has a lot of weight on her shoulders dealing with her family. So I feel like, and kind of what she read, she mentioned, sounds sounds like she was saying she felt guilty that she gets to enjoy this beautiful, vacation in a sense, whereas her family are the ones that's really been through a lot and they really are the ones that deserve this. So that's one of the reasons why she was crying. But I also feel like she could have been crying because she was bringing Marshall in on what's happening with her family. Like, dang, like, I know you're here for me, but I feel like I'm kind of like a package deal with some other stuff because I have so many people to take on, and I'm about to put that weight on you if you become my husband, So I think that that's another reason why she probably was crying and feeling guilty and stuff like that. But the way that he was like, looking out for her, hugging on her, consoling her, trying to be there for her, support her and everything. And I'm like, that's what you need, girl. You right. You definitely need that. I don't really see him being the type to just leave you, but I don't know, because in the previews for the next part, he was saying that he no longer wants to run away from any relationships. Like, look at me, I'm not gonna run away no more, right? I'm not gonna do that to you. So I don't know. It sounds like when times get a little rough, a little tough, he get the jet set, he out of there, right? So I don't know. Then it's gonna be a little friction. They're gonna have a little argument or whatever. So I don't know if she gonna actually say yeah, or if she gonna say no. I hope that they made it through. But then, girl, they also showing in the next part where Josh is gonna come back, and that's what I was wondering, girl. I said, are y'all gonna let them see the people that they could have chose, right? So then they bring those people back, and it look like Josh gonna be sitting up there trying to plead for her love too. But I do feel like she's still gonna turn Josh down. No matter Josh coming to the front, I feel like Josh still gonna be turned down because of the amount of time and she spent with Marshall and how strong her heart has grown towards him. I doubt she just jumped ship for Josh. But Josh, you handsome, honey. Y'all can bring Josh back for another Love is Blind next season, okay? But anywho, that's them, girl. Let's go ahead and move on. This right here is Paul and Micah, because I remember them names. And let me tell you, I can't stand Micah. I do not like this little girl. I do not like this little white girl here. I cannot stand her, okay? So she had two options, all right? This is one of her options, and another man by the name of Kwame. And I'll show Kwame at a later time because she's going to play a role in that too, okay? Now, when it came down to it, Kwame asked her to marry him. She turned him down, okay? And she decided to go towards Paul, right? But what she does that I do not like is it's like she didn't want either one of the guys. She's there for camera time personally, okay? She's only there for camera time, only to get some recognition. Look at me, I'm on the show. Wow. I don't think that girl is into either one of the men, okay? What it was giving was Kwame had another person that he was interested in. Paul had another person that he was interested in. And actually, her name is Amber, I do believe. So let me go ahead and put Amber on the screen. Actually, do I have this one? Let me see. Not that one. I think it was this one. Let's see. Not that one. Okay, there we go. All right. So this is Amber. We have Amber. We have Paul, and we also have Miss Micah. So this is the other young lady he was interested in. Come to find out, this young lady had been married twice and divorced twice, okay? So she's looking for her next man that's going to be her third time's a charm and forever, right? I don't think she would have been a bad option for him either, right? But it seems like Micah wasn't really interested in either of the guys until she saw how the other girls would come back and chat with their friends about how much they liked them. Then she would come back into the confessional, in my opinion, and kind of, be on some manipulation type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Try to get in their head a little bit or whatever, okay? So much so that to me, it seems like once she came back to express herself to Kwame, all of a sudden out his mouth, he asked her to marry him. And then she was like, no. Then she goes and she talks to Paul, and both of them agree to cut off whoever it is that they're seeing, okay? So she cut off Kwame, and then he went and he cut off Amber. I felt bad for Amber. She was really crying. When he first walked in the room, she was all excited. She was happy, ready to talk, and he was really struggling, telling her, hey, I'm going to go with the other girl. I'm not going to go with you. So she was over there like, fuck you, Paul. I said, I know that's right, girl. F you, baby. F you. So anywho, when she went to go talk, when Amber got back in the room, because first of all, Micah had been waiting there forever. Like, oh my God, he's been in there with her for like 2 hours. It doesn't take that long to tell somebody that you don't want to be with them anymore. Like, oh my God, like, why is he still in there? Right? So she's talking to her other bimbo friend, Irina, that I can't stand. Okay. So when Amber finally gets back in there, Amber's over there talking to, I believe it was Chelsea. And I love me some Chelsea. Okay. Because Chelsea was a checker girl. So Chelsea is over there talking to Amber about everything. I believe it was Amber. And, Amber was crying, but then you got Irina tiptoeing over there, trying to hear what's being said, but also not really making herself seem like not being discreet while she was at it. So then, Chelsea walked over there and she sat with the ladies after, Irina ran from over there, and she was just over there, having a conversation with them. But I felt like she was giving them subliminal shots by talking about people not being good people or something like that. She was saying she was throwing some subliminal shots out there or whatever. But all in all, it is what it is. Okay. Paul ends up choosing Micah, and I mean, they connected, I suppose. She looked like she was happy. Paul is very handsome, in my opinion. So they're together, okay? Once they get to the vacation, Miss Girl gets a bit disrespectful. You can overhear her saying to her good friend Irina, I believe she said that he wasn't really her type or something like that. Like when she saw him initially, like that's not necessarily her type. I don't know what her type was, but we did see her all over Kwame. And primarily, I feel like she was all over Kwame because she just not, matter of fact, let me get Kwame on the screen because I feel like I could tell both of their stories together, okay? So she ends up seeing Kwame once they get on vacation. She's hugging him over and over and all this extra stuff. They go out to the side, have a conversation and stuff. And it seems like to me, Micah is not interested in Kwame, but she's interested in making Chelsea jealous. But that's just my opinion about that. Now, let's get over to Miss Chelsea and Kwame, all right? And I hope I'm saying their names right. But anywho, so Chelsea and Kwame was interested originally in Micah. Micah turned him down. Therefore, he goes back. First of all, Chelsea was about him from the beginning. He goes back to Chelsea, tries to convince her to be with him. Same thing Jared did to Ayana. And then the crazy thing was Kwame tried to make it seem like, oh, I'm so into her. Oh my God, I'm so into you. Oh my God, I like her so much, bro. Like, oh, she's everything. Like, oh, you just now realizing that she everything after you got turned the hell down by Micah. Oh, okay. Another thing I cannot stand about Kwame, I feel like these young ladies are giving him false hope that he's that attractive when he's not. The other thing is, I don't like the fact that when he first came onto the show, he says that he wanted to be called Alex. He wanted to go by the name Alex and not the name Kwame because one, he would have known that it would have given away the fact that he's a black man and not a white one. In addition to that, we didn't see him sit down with any black girls. I only recall him sitting with white ones, okay? If that's your preference, that's your preference. But my problem is when you feel a way about who you are, so much so that you rather use a white name. You know what I'm saying? You rather use a name that's more comfortable for others than your own name, and then turn around and says that you're never accepted by the women that you're interested in. You're often never accepted by their family. So a lot of times you have to lead with your accomplishments. Oh, hi, I'm Kwame. Yeah, I got a master's degree. I got this and that. I'm a director over here and that. That has a lot to do with your insides, baby, that you need to go over there and work on. And if you feel like you keep running to those type of women and they family don't accept you, why are you continuing to run towards that type of rejection? Why are you doing that? You sound stupid as hell. So I was just like, I see why y'all put this clown ass NIGG. I see why y'all put this clown on this show. I see why y'all put this clown on this damn show. Gotta lead with your accomplishments. And girl, I can't. And you got Chelsea over there. Oh my God, he's the man of my dreams. Oh my God, Kwame. Oh my God. Oh, well, he's singing singing to me with his bad voice. I love it. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Oh my God, I'm tearing up. Oh, Kwame. Oh, Kwame, you don't understand. I'm just like, girl, go ahead. This man is really not all of that. Like, let's not, and let us pray you don't fetish, okay? Let's pray that you don't do that, all right? So I was cringing. They get to go to the vacation, all of the kissing and everything. Like, Kwame is performative as fuck. And ain't nobody finna tell me nothing different. No, he's not interested in Chelsea at all. He's just not. He's interested in being on this show like a lot of them, okay? You could just tell what's genuine, what's not. So he sees Miss Micah. They hug each other a lot. He was over there kind of checking her out or whatever. Then they get pulled to the side. They're talking and stuff like they're just doing too much. First of all, Kwame up there having a conversation. His fiance Chelsea says, "Hey, babe, when you're done talking, can you bring me this? Can you bring me that?" So then you see a shot of Chelsea talking to Irina, and she's like, "Oh, you remember that time this and this happened?" And Chelsea got so upset and she didn't want to talk about things anymore. Like, do you remember when she said that? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, here you go with the drama. And right after she said that, acknowledging how Chelsea kind of like rolled her eyes at them or whatever, when they were talking about Kwame back when they were in the pods, she turns around and says, "Hey, Kwame, can you bring us the X, Y, and Z?" Like, no, she didn't do that. Irina did that to be messy. "Kwame, could you bring us 2 shots of tequila?" Da 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 da. Like, out of all these people standing around, Irina, you have other things to work on, like your face, for you to sit up there and be over there bothering and trying to be messy. Like, you were you was the same person the last time when Amber was crying, trying to peek in and see what's going on. And then now here you are being messy, saying, "Hey, Kwame, can you go get this or that?" So Kwame was like, "Oh, you guys would like one of those, huh? Yeah, get it yourself." So I couldn't tell if he was joking or not, but I think that Tiffany ended up bringing it to them anyway. And then Micah says something to him about, I feel like, her rejecting his proposal or something slick that she said to him, which resulted in him pulling her to the side, them having a conversation. Micah's looking him all in his face and laughing and chuckling and he. But the whole time she's talking, she has a clear eye view to see Chelsea on the other side and likely seeing how Chelsea is filming. Okay, so I felt overplayed her laughter and stuff, because again, her whole goal was to piss off Chelsea. Okay, that was her whole goal, in my opinion. So yeah, so of course Chelsea was mad or whatever, and I believe that they ended up having that conversation and stuff. I believe, he tried to play her. I feel, I think he could have apologized, but he was like, "You got to understand, like, this was a person that I was really into, and we didn't get closure." Whose fucking fault is that you did not get closure? Whose fucking fault is that? You should have had that conversation that night when she rejected your ass, but you couldn't take it. You tried to act like you was a stand-up, like, "Oh, well, I hope everything works out for you." You wrapped it up real quick. You ran back to the damn pods, and then you sat up there and you cried the whole damn time, okay? So shut the fuck up. You could have got the closure that you needed. You chose not to, and you ran away. Now you see her in person, you want to get all this type of closure, but then you want to sit up there and try and throw that up in Chelsea's face as an excuse for her to not sit up there and feel no way that you over there hee and ha and doing all of this whatever while you got a fiance or whatever. Now you want to try, "I didn't get the closure that I need." And who fault is that? Okay. But, Chelsea let it slide, and she's like, "Don't try to SHI again, girl." And he is. And he's going to try it again because he's not interested in you. He was never interested in you, and you are the second option. Hello? Girl, I was like, wow. But they're a fool. Understand, okay? All of them are a whole fool. That's all that I can say, okay? Now, let's get to these 2 individuals, which is Paul and Irina. And actually, let's go ahead and put Miss Girl on here, all right? So you have, this is Bliss in the yellow. You have Paul, and then you have Irina. Irina is the other girl that I just absolutely cannot stand. That's a close friend to Micah, and she is just messy and ain't got nothing going on and really think that she's that babe, and she's not. But anyway, girl, so he has known these 2 girls, okay? These are the 2 girls that he's interested in. Now, he is an attorney, but at first he led off with the fact that he was a stripper. That's what he said good he was. But what's so confusing to me is this. He says he was a stripper, but he really wasn't. But then he tells them about his childhood and how his mom was a stripper and she used to strip to take care of them and stuff like that. And then he also goes on to talk about there was a moment in time when they didn't have any money or anything, right, to take care of them, right? So he goes through that whole spiel, but I'm kind of like, if that was and then he goes on to talk about how throughout life, once people learn about his I guess you say background, his childhood and stuff, people try to judge him based off of that. And I'm like, well, if you feel like people are going to judge you based off of that, why would you use that as a disguise to say, oh, I'm a stripper? If you feel like they judge you off that, wouldn't you automatically lead with, hey, I'm an attorney? You know, if you lead with that, they probably not going to care too much about your childhood. They're going to be like, oh, wow, you persevered and you got to this point. So I don't know, Paul. I got my good eye on you. All right. Now, Irina is just like, again, a mess. She loves to cause chaos. I think that she is a very, what's the term that I'm looking for? I can't think of the term, but basically, I feel like she's very judgmental, I would think, for lack of better terms. I think that because she's not perfect due to her flaws and things on her face and everything, I feel like she expects a person to be perfect, like be better than her. I can't even explain the words that I'm looking for. But just know that she's a whole ass mess. And I saw her right. You know, some girls, when you see them on TV, they just got that bitch aura, not in a good way. And that's exactly what she had. And Bliss, who's absolutely beautiful, Bliss saw right through her ass, okay? Bliss saw right through this bitch, and she does not fuck with her. And I am with Bliss. Like, Bliss don't do her no kind of way. Like, girl, don't come over here. Don't touch me, ma'am. Don't put your hands up. Go ahead now. Because it was Paul's birthday. And I'm sorry, this is not Paul. Y'all, I keep calling this man Paul, but Paul is the one that was dating Micah, the one we just saw. This is not Paul. This is Zach. So forgive me for that. This is Zach. Okay. So with Zach, it was his birthday. And Bliss decided that she was going to make him some cakes and things, some cupcakes or whatever for his birthday. And Irina's over there looking like, oh my God, like, wow, she's making him cupcakes. And I haven't even gotten him anything for his birthday. Like, oh, geez Louise. Oh my God. Like, I'm such a bad friend. Like, I'm going to be terrible. Oh my God. So she go over there to Bliss and says, hey, can I borrow one of your candles? Like, can I have one? Can I have a candle? And Bliss was like, girl, why are you coming over here asking me for anything? Like, what is it really giving? Like, girl, no. Like, I work really hard for what it is that I did, and I'm not willing to give you anything for you to feel like you took credit for it. So, yeah, that's dead. Like, I was really here for Bliss. I was like, Bliss, you better not give her Bliss, you better not give her shit. And she didn't, and I was glad. So then, what's her name? Irina met Zach in the room, in the pod, and pretty much told him happy birthday and said how she felt bad she didn't get him anything. Whoop to whoop to whoop, la 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 la. Next thing you know, Bliss go in there. She got the cupcakes, got it decked down, making it important for him and everything about his birthday, making it a big deal, right? So they're talking, vibing out, and I'm like, yo, that's the one you need to get. She's giving wife vibes. And this is when Bliss really gave wife vibes, right? She was talking to Zach and told him pretty much that Irina is not a good person. She's just not. And if you decide to choose her, then it lets me know a lot about your character as a person, is what she said. So instead of him really taking heed to the fact that Irina is a troublemaker and probably got problems, he took offense to the fact that she said it tells her a lot about his character. And in all honesty, he was just searching for something to not pick her. And you know, I really feel like the producers told him to pick Irina. I do, because they saw how much of a troublemaker she is, and they also saw how valuable it would be to the show. So I feel like they purposely told him to, whatever he does, pick her. That's what it was giving me, okay? So, yeah, Bliss tried to give Zach a heads up about Irina. Zach has the conversation with Irina about what he and Bliss talked about and said, Bliss doesn't really like you, this and that, but she doesn't know what I know about you and all this other BS. And when he talked back to Bliss, he asked Bliss about something about her family. And she says, well, my family, my dad never liked any of my exes. And I don't know if he ever will. Like, I don't think he thinks anybody is good enough for me. So what Zach does in an effort to make sure he chooses Irina, he draws in on that and says, I know how that feels. And I don't think that your family would accept me. And she was like, and even if they don't, like, that ain't got nothing to do with us. Like, it's not going to change how I feel about you, period. Okay? It never has, So, again, he kept applying pressure to that for him. So then when it came down to it, he let Bliss down. No. Before he let Bliss down, he brought up the fact that she said that she didn't like Irina being a bad person or whatever. And she says, well, at the end of the day, listen, I'm about what's best for you and what makes you happy ultimately, and she just pretty much, put her issue to the side when it came to the whole Irina situation. And she's just thinking more about him, caring about him, wanting the best for him. So much so that she actually had to sit down with Irina to tell her, I don't want to beef. I don't want to have any issues. Like, I want to put everything to the side for him, for us, and either one, and whichever one of us, win his heart, then it is what it is. And I'm not going to hold it against you, and we're going to be cool and whatever. So she did all of that with Irina. Then went into that room and cleared it up with him. And the whole time, I'm like, that is the woman you want. A woman that is going to fizzle out and resolve conflict for the better interest of you, in my opinion. Okay? So I feel like Miss Bliss did everything right. But obviously not right enough for Zach. So he chose Irina. And I was over here like, I'm glad you chose Irina, although you should not have, because I can't wait till Irina show you dust, because she's not interested in you. Excuse me. And I could tell soon as I saw his face when they met each other, I said, she's not gonna like you. I already know. And it was kind of giving that. It was giving a bit of awkward, like acting happy. I don't even know if they kissed each other. Like, it just was not giving like all of the vibes, like the hugs she would give him. Her body would partly be away from him a little bit as she hugged. Like, it just did not seem authentic at all. Like, he's not her type. Who's her type is Paul. Paul is her type. That's the one she would like to go after. And I cannot wait until her and Micah have the conversation in the second half of the season so that we could see exactly what is it giving. Are y'all gonna be beefing out? Because also, Micah, you said Paul really wasn't your type for real. Maybe you've grown a liking to him, but it seems like your good girlfriend really wants a piece of Paul. So we'll see how that's gonna play out. But yeah, so Zach and Irina are on this trip, and it's just giving awkward. He's trying to give her the PDA, the affection, and she's taking it, but she's not really here for it. She's really there for the cameras, the vacation, and all of that. But I loved how he got to that place with her where he was just like, look, what we doing? Like, girl, either you trying to do this or not. Like, I'm trying to break through. I'm trying to see, like, what it is, what it's going to be, what's up. Now, say it with me. What are we doing here, right? So, when he tried to get in that space with her, it seemed like she didn't really have no answer. She wasn't really saying anything. I mean, then she finally kept it a buck. Basically, what she was saying is, you ain't attractive. You ugly. I can't get past what you look like versus what you sound like. Okay, in so many words, like, because that's what he said too. Like, if you're not attracted to me and I'm not your guy, let's clear this up now. Let's let the buck stop here. We do not have to take this any further. Let the buck stop where we at, please. Okay. So that's where he was at with it. Long story short, they decided to part ways, and she left the island. He left the island, and I'm glad. I'm glad like a mother. But we are going to see him go back and get Bliss, and I believe Paul asked him that. Paul said, so are you going to go back and get Bliss? And he was like, I don't know. And some part of me doesn't want him to get Bliss. I don't. Some part, because I'm like, you should have chose her the first time. However, because of who Bliss is, and she's a sweetheart, and if this is what Bliss wants, I would want that for Bliss, as long as Bliss is able to fully participate in the rest of the show so that we can watch their relationship grow. If not, then I don't want to see it. But I don't like this too. When they showed her, Bliss, and him linking up, it wasn't one of those first time looks. So it was given that they may have already seen each other before, right? But I wish that it was a better reveal that when he saw her, it was like, oh, wow, that's Bliss. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get that. They met up at like a coffee shop or wherever they met up at, but it was looking like they had already met each other previously. And I'm like, dang, I wish we would have got a chance to witness that and see the first look. But Bliss didn't seem to be too happy to come out her bed and come down there, girl, and meet with this man, knowing that it didn't work out. And he over there trying to tell this girl, I made the wrong decision. I made the wrong choice. And you know that I made the wrong choice too. You know that. Yeah, she been trying to tell you that. Why is you sitting over here putting pressure on her talking about she knew that? Yeah, and she knew that. She been told you. You didn't know. Now you know. And why you trying to make me know some shit I knew weeks ago? Like, what the hell is we talking about? And another thing, he is a bit quirky. He can be a bit weird based on how he was staring at Irina. And Irina was like, oh my God, the way you're gazing at me, the way you're staring at me, like, oh my God, it's like a lot. It's a lot. Like, whoa. And I'm like, girl, that boy over there staring at you because he's trying to figure out how the fuck he got himself into this situation with you. Okay? While he's sitting over there talking about you look like Megan Fox. Girl, he was being sarcastic and he was joking. It wasn't for real. All right. But girl, that's why that man was gazing at you like, what the f have I done? That's what it was giving. But yeah, he made the wrong decision when it came to Irina. And yeah, I don't know if I want him with Bliss. We'll have to see. Whatever Bliss wants, I'm a rock with. If she don't want to be with him, cool. If she do, okay. But can we watch the journey? Can we see if they really are a match? Like, don't deprive us of watching that, please. We would appreciate it. But it would have been better if we got a chance to see the reveal and stuff. But yeah, that's where we are. Let me see if there were any more couples. I feel like that's, for the most part, everybody. I think I dug into Kwame. Yep. Chelsea. Love Chelsea down. I really like her so far. But we shall see. Yeah, talked about them. Yeah, I think we talked about everybody for the most part. All right. That's all that I got. I wanted to give y'all a quick, I guess you say review of Love is Blind season 4 episodes 1 through 5. My perspective on it. I want you guys to go ahead and leave your thoughts and comments down below about it. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.